Mr. Chairman, I want to remind everyone why we are here. We are here because a report chronicled an attack on America. We were attacked by a foreign adversary. And we have an Attorney General who refuses to give us the details of that attack. So what do you do when you have an Attorney General who prejudged the investigation before he took the job, who refused to recuse himself once he took the job, who falsely accused the FBI of spying on the Trump campaign, who lied to Congress, and failed to comply with the lawful subpoena? What do you do when someone conducts themselves that way? Mr. Chairman, you hold them in contempt. And I would go as so far to say, then you move to impeach him. And you do the same thing to anyone else who doesn't want to follow the law. And I'm not a fortune teller, but with this lawless administration, I imagine we're also going to see characters like Steve Mnuchin, who's also not following the law when it comes to the president's tax returns. And on this issue of executive privilege, Mr. Chairman, once it's waived, it is gone. It is gone forever. It was waived by Don McGahn when he spilled the number of instances when Donald Trump obstructed justice. Obstructed justice, that's a legalese term for acted guilty. A lot. This isn't about executive privilege. It's about burying the evidence, Mr. Chairman. If it was about executive privilege, the Attorney General would not have offered you to be able to view the documents and then tell you that you can't tell anyone what you saw. I thank you for not taking the latest Trump hush offer. We were attacked. We are in an information war with a foreign adversary. And I read the 200 pages of links between the Trump campaign and the Russians. And I also noticed what I didn't read. Not once did it say, by the way, all these contacts have ceased. By the way, all these people in the Trump family, the Trump businesses, the Trump campaign, the Trump administration, the Trump transition, they even managed to work with the Russians during the very narrow transition period. You give them 10 seconds, they'll find a way to find a Russian. That's how it worked. Nowhere in that report did it say, oh, by the way, these contacts ceased. Nowhere in the report did it say, there is no longer an ongoing threat from Russia. Nowhere in the report did it say, the Russians have no further interest in interfering in America. That's why we need this report. And I ask my colleagues, look at the person that you're going to such great lengths to protect. Look at this pathetic person who stood at a press conference as our country was being attacked and said, Russia, if you're listening, you'll be rewarded if you keep attacking. That's the person you want to protect? That's the person you want to break the law for? That individual? And what does this person do after a 400-page report comes out? He calls the leader of the country that attacked us. At his request, President Trump called Putin. They talked for 90 minutes. President Trump described it as Putin was smiling. That's your leader, the commander-in-chief. He called the guy that attacked us. When we were attacked by Japan, Franklin Roosevelt did not call the Emperor of Japan. When we were attacked by al-Qaeda on September 11th, George Bush did not call Osama bin Laden, and the President of the United States should only call Vladimir Putin for one reason, to tell him that this will never be tolerated, and he's going to unite the country to make sure that's true. The most basic function of a government is to protect its people from a foreign attack. If our president or the Attorney General or his allies in Congress are unable or unwilling to do that, then we don't have a government. Fortunately, we're not powerless anymore. The American people voted to put a balance of power on all of these abuses of power. And this committee is going to protect and defend America, and it's going to start with holding this lawless Attorney General in contempt. And I yield back.